you mentioned so many times the image work. Can you maybe share more with our audience, because this perhaps is a quite foreign concept for a lot of us,
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
why is this so important in the burnout work you're doing?
So image work is about working with your inner images, but these are not images that necessarily are there on the surface. First of all, there's two kinds of images. One is what I call your everyday images. That is the way you see the world. You haven't really even thought about it. You just take certain things for granted. You see the world as a depriving place, or a frightening place, or a bountiful place, or your image of the world might be of a tree full of fruits, or a tree with no fruits, or underlying our whole attitude to the world, deep underneath, and I'd say beneath the body, the mind, the emotions, is the image that creates all of those. One of the first images I had when I was doing skiers was people were pulling the fruits off without asking.
Mm.
And so that feeling that I was being used in some way and not respected gave me the physical results, the emotional results, the mental results. But underneath was the image. And why that's important is that if we can get to the image, bring it to the surface, we can then change the image or allow it to change. So we start off with this everyday imagination, which has taken us where we are now. And then we use the transformational imagination. It's the imagination that helps us to transform the images and to show us a new set of images that will take us where we are now. So, for example, I gave the example of the lion in the cage.
Mm.
That's the everyday imagination. This person feels caged like a lion. But as we work on it and we discover that the door is really open, the key is really there, they walk out, the lion walks out of the cage and discovers there's a world out there. Something has changed in their whole experience of the world. And that's what we're working for, is for people to find new possibilities by finding new images of who they are. And I always say, who we, where we've got to is the best we've been able to imagine. Because if we can imagine, we can create it. Someone told me he heard me on the radio and talking about burnout and giving an image of burnout. And he said, I'm burnt out. And he quit his job. Then he came to our center in Skiros 15 years later, said, here I am. You changed my life. But he just heard it on the radio. So the image that comes up is very powerful.